Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lungleng Show. And today we are in Imphal, and we want to talk about the issues that is concerning or that is related to the people of Manipur. And here we have a figure, a very well-known figure by the name R.K. Meghen. And I will call him in a way, in other way we can just call him uncle or sir. However, the issue that we want to talk about is we want to talk about his cause and what he has been fighting for. You know what is very interesting about this person is he was studying and he was in Kolkata University studying masters in international relations, and before that he even studied LLB for a year, and he started studying this masters in international relations. And at the peak of his time and his career, he came home and chose different path. Definitely inspired by the kind of ideology and beliefs, or rather the cause that he believed in. I think one interesting thing about that we can mention about him is he's also a revolutionary leader from Manipur. And according to some of the websites, we read that he was the former chairman of the revolutionary group known as UNLF, which is the United National Liberation Front, which believes to form a separate Manipur state, or socialist and sovereign Manipur state. And I think this is going to be very interesting. And he is the contemporaries of a lot of Naga revolutionary leaders as well. So I think it'll be very interesting to get to know more about him, the mission, that why he chose that path, which is not an easy path, and which was not an easy path, and still not an easy path. So, sir, thank you so much for joining in this conversation on our podcast and having a personality, a figure like you to understand the fight that you have been fighting for will be very interesting for our audience as well. Thanks for joining.
Welcome to Imphal, the Lungleng Show.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. So I have read a little bit about you, although all I know about is you were the leader of the UNLF.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, before we start talking about your organization, whether it's a previous organization or current organization, we'll come to that later. But I wanted to know, as a young master student those days in 1967, that was like the peak of education at that time, and it would be very rare to have someone like you in those days that getting education at that level. What formally or what previously motivated you choose that different path? You could have been in different higher status, or in the mainstream politics, and or in the civil service and so on. What made you choose that decision?
Right. Thank you for asking me a straight question. Well, I need to give you a little background.
Please.
Yeah. I grew up in a family. My forefathers, this Tikendrazit is my great-grandfather.
Okay.
Was hanged by the British in 1891.
Okay.
With the charge that waging war against Britain. That is their story. But our side of the story is that Manipur fought the 1891 war against the British to defend its sovereignty and independence. As you know, Manipur has all along been a sovereign independent kingdom for several centuries before being conquered by the British in 1891. And then after that, Manipur was actually, the state of Manipur was forfeited by the British Crown for some years, and then restored again when they chose one young Churasan to become the king of Manipur. And the statehood was restored.
Okay.
And after that, Manipur was placed as a native state and a protected state of the British Crown, British government. That was the historical background. And after 1891, there was a British attempt to suppress aspirations of the people of Manipur, the nationalist aspirations of the people of Manipur, to be exact. And even this, our martial arts, Thang Ta, was not allowed to be taught anymore in public places.
That could be a form of defense.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, right. And after when the British wanted to leave South Asia and other colonies. But Manipur was not was not a colony as others
I see.
were. It was a protected state in that status. Then Manipur was excluded from the British Indian Empire, not the British India. That was a colony of Britain. Then Manipur was excluded from the British Indian Empire and restored its sovereignty and independence in 1947, August 14. That was a historical background.
Right.
And I was born in that historical situation, in the transition between, the transfer of power and sovereignty to Manipur. And from that historical background, I was brought up in the family that my forefathers, who were hanged by the British, and a lot of patriots who fought against the British and sacrificed their lives in the 1891 war, always made us remember our history and the sacrifice they made, the purpose of the sacrifice that remains till today, the sovereign independent existence of Manipur. That is the historical background
I see.
I had. So when I went to Kolkata for further studies, it was 1967.
Correct. That's
67 was actually in Manipur. The young generation of my contemporaries,
yeah.
the younger generation aspiring to know how Manipur became part of India in 1949. You know, in 1949, Manipur was taken over by the by the Indian government after the controversial Manipur merger agreement of 21st September 1949.
Was it a voluntary merger agreement, or was it?
It was not voluntary.
Unilateral, forced by India.
It was not voluntary.
Okay.
As everybody knows, it's a historical fact and recorded fact that the king of Manipur was invited to Shillong, the then headquarters of Assam, for a different purpose. And when the king met the governor of Assam, Sri Prakash, he was just given the already printed and typed out Manipur merger agreement to sign on the dot. The king did not accept. He refused to sign because at that time Manipur already had elected assembly under the Manipur Constitution Act 1947.
As a union territory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, before the British left
Okay.
in 1947 August,
Right.
Manipur already, the king enacted a constitution known as the Manipur State Constitution Act 1947.
Okay. Correct.
So under this constitution, a temporary council of state was established as the government, and the king began to function as a titular head of state. And the in the interim government, the one British officer, president of the Darbar of Manipur, F.A. Pearson, he became the interim chief minister. And this interim government was handling the state affairs till August 14, 1947.
I see.
And that was the 14 August was the day, 8 o'clock in the morning. The British government transferred power and independence to the government of Manipur, the State Council, and restored its sovereignty on the midnight of 14 and 15 to the Maharaja of Manipur.
Right.
That was the process completed. So after that, the generation of that time, my generation, began, being born in a historical situation where the 1891, the memory of 1891 war was very fresh, and after that, how Manipur was taken over by the British Indian government, was very fresh in their mind.
Okay.
So they were historically motivated.
It was the talk of the days.
It was talk of the day.
Right.
And how Manipur was taken over by the government of India was a very, very big controversy. Even in 1993, a convention was held, the National Convention of Manipur, about merger agreement. And the convention passed a resolution that it was not a merger, it was an annexation. And many international law experts, on all counts, they say that it was not a merger, it was simply annexation. Because forcible taking over of another country is annexation, not voluntary.
Right.
Yeah, that was the historical background.
Right. Okay.
So my generation, the thought and thinking of my generation was conditioned by this historical situation. And particularly my family and my parents, particularly my mother, used to narrate a history of how it happened, 1891 was happened, and how my great-grandfather and General Thangal was hanged by the British in public view. Now the beach Secondary Park, BT Park, near the Polo Ground. And every year there is one Rupmahal Theatre, if you know. Every year the Rupmahal Theatre used to stage the play called Tikendrazit. It narrated about the story of the conflict between Manipur and British, and how they tried to capture the Tikendrazit alive. Unable doing that, they invaded Manipur and declared war on Manipur. That was a declared war. The only declared war in this region, the Anglo-Manipur War of 1891. So,
That they were the factors where...
Yeah. So, this historical situation was always a factor in the thought process of my generation.
I see.
And then when after this thing, completing postgraduate, my generation began to come back home. Those studied Guwahati University, Kolkata University, and other universities of India, Delhi and others. After returning home, they formed an organization called Pan Manipur Youth League to spread the idea of patriotism among the younger generations of Manipur.
Wow.
And it was actually a movement about this idea. So, born in that historical situation, it's only natural that I began to look forward why Manipur should remain a part of India.
So, and you came back and you joined the UNLF in 1975?
Actually, in fact, I joined UNLF in 1967, just after I finished my graduate. I enrolled myself.
Right. Because UNLF was founded in 1964, I guess?
64, right.
And that was just as soon as you were, it was launched, it was founded, you just joined hands with the leaders.
Right.
How was it like, as soon as you joined, you had to escape Manipur? You could not be in the mainstream region where you could be seen because it was a resistance.
Yeah, 67 I joined.
Right.
In between, I continued my postgraduate studies in Jadavpur University, International Relations. The organization allowed me to do so.
But was it safe on your part to do that in the eyes of the government of India?
I was working, underground. Underground means my activity is not known openly.
I see.
That was the situation. Then after that, after completing postgraduate, which was delayed by 1 year because of the Naxalite movement in Bengal. Then after that, I remained overground for some time. Then I went underground in 1976, December.
But how was the reaction of your parents? Because your parents definitely sent you to university to study and become someone big. But I think in that generation, in those days, situation could be environment could be different. How was it like?
Well, actually, my father, he was also in the British army, British Indian Army during the
British.
Second World War.
Okay.
And after that, he joined the Indian Frontier Administrative Service.
Okay.
And he was serving in NIFA for some time. He wanted me to become a lawyer.
Lawyer.
And that's why I studied 1 year in
LLB.
law. Yeah. And my mother wanted me to become a doctor.
I see.
But then this thing, professional line, I thought is not for me. I said, I have already charted my life in a way that I serve for the people and Manipur. That was the decision. I had to convince my parents in long debates and sometimes heated. At long last, they agreed.
I'm sure it was not an easy decision that you made.
Yeah.
So as in like now more than, I would say more than 70 years old man,
Right.
deeply immersed in this issue.
Right.
How do you look back? Do you still think you made the right decision? Because keeping the practicality, when the Naga groups talk with the government of India, what we read normally is keeping the contemporary realities in mind. We just want to begin this negotiation.
Yeah.
That means the contemporary realities is a little challenging. Now, seeing all these aspects, how do you look back? Do you think you made the right decision?
Yes, absolutely. I am happy and then I'm proud that I made the right decision. Because in any struggle, particularly a struggle of a people, of a nation to restore its sovereignty and independence, it's a long struggle. It's going to take generations after generations. But it also depends on historical factors, not just in Manipur, but in and around Manipur, and of course the general historical trend the world over. I believe in a historical process that remnants of colonialism will go one day, will have to go one day.
I see.
And Manipur and Northeastern region is such a region that it may not happen in my generation or the generations next after me, but one day it's going to happen. I believe in that historical, development, because there are three factors that conditions.
Okay.
One and most important of all, without which there will be no condition for regaining sovereignty. That number one is the unity of the people of Manipur, the entire indigenous people of Manipur. Number one, and of course, Manipur cannot expect to achieve the success, but it has always, our UNLF always had a historical regional outlook. The indigenous peoples of the entire region now called Northeast, but which we term as Western Southeast Asia. That is the regional outlook. But today, in today's situation, if you you will say that it's wildest ideas of uniting the entire region. But I think history, world is changing. Manipur is changing, Nagaland is changing, will change, the world is changing.
True.
And and another factor, second factor is that India, the idea of India, historically, is a very, very weak idea.
Weak idea.
Very weak idea.
Okay. Why do you say so?
Yeah, it's not just it's just about 75, 76 years. A very young nation. In that sense, Manipur is older nation than India.
Okay.
But then I remember one remark by Lord Mountbatten, who was the Viceroy in India and later on became the Governor General of the Dominion of India. He made a remark that India will not last 100 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he made a very historical remark. What's happening in India today? India is boiling inside. And the Dravidian South, the Aryan North, in the East, the Bengal, and the rise of Maratha nationalism, and Punjab has a Sikh nationalism.
Your Khalistans.
Khalistan is there. These factors
I see.
may be weak today, but it's going to become more stronger and sharper because the factors. India today is a very highly centralized
It is.
unitary.
It is.
Though it is made out to be a federation, it's not at all federation. Of course, some powers are given to the states, assemblies, but not a federation at all. So the states will demand more power for their own socio-economic developments, and it's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So and Bengal, they are a nation by themselves. The East Bengal is now Bangladesh. West Bengal. Now, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, his party, Trinamool Congress, wants Bengal to be renamed as Bangla.
Bangla. Okay.
Bangla, right? But the Union Cabinet has not given this thing consent to that. Maybe, the fact is,
Yeah. Yeah.
from Bangla,
Yeah.
Bangladesh is not very far. The joining of the two Bengals.
Okay.
Just like, East Germany and West Germany.
Okay.
It was artificially divided.
I see.
And Bengal, same thing. East Bengal and West Bengal was divided during British rule.
Okay.
But history is such a process. Of course, religious differences may be there. But the language, both Bengals speak the same language.
Right.
And they have the same national anthem.
Okay.
Bangladesh also, their national anthem is written by Rabindranath Tagore.
Okay.
Rabindranath Tagore.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
India's anthem also.
And
by
that's the
him.
second factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sharpening of internal contradictions within India
Okay.
is the second factor. And the third factor is development of an international situation whereby these Manipur or other places, the remnants of colonial rule, will become possible to regain their independence. And now the world is changing. America is a declining power, whereas the rise of China, everyone knows it. And you know the difference between United States as a superpower and China as a superpower. The difference is there. And so many factors
Right. Okay.
going into
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So right now, of course, the struggle of Manipur and others in the Western Southeast Asian region is very distinct, become weaker now. But there are all the factors to grow stronger again, which is generally the process of a long struggle.
I think what stands out here is, I was intrigued when I heard the second factor that you were talking about, from regional powers and regional aspirations.
Right.
In other words, just to ask you bluntly, do you look forward to the day where India will be disintegrated, that all these regional powers can gain back their independence?
I will put it this way. I'm not looking forward but history, the historical process, the inevitable historical process will happen.
Will happen.
Yeah, will happen.
But in other words, like you mentioned, India is a strong unit, has a strong unitary power, meaning power resting always in the center. All the state has some federalist,
Yeah,
but that is always subject to the decisions of the center.
right.
But Russia, the Soviet Union was not like that.
Right.
They were just a pure federalism that
Right,
they
right.
enjoy. Anyone can secede,
Right.
but not in the case of India.
Right.
But in that case, how do you assess that?
Yeah. So even when superpower, like the Soviet Union,
Soviet Union,
disintegrated,
yeah. Right.
because the Constitution of the Soviet Union granted the right to self-determination to all the republics. But then, even then, it was this thing, voluntary disintegration
Yeah.
of the Soviet Union. But then, in India, the contradiction is, the more the centralization is there, the more the tendency to break up will grow, will develop. And particularly, right now, we see a phase in the Indian this thing experience as a nation. We see a weakening of union leadership.
Okay.
There is a leadership crisis in India. I mean, union leadership.
Okay.
And the growth of a strong regional leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You see Bengal, of the Banerjee,
Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu, and then Kerala.
Kerala.
CPM is now almost a regional party. It doesn't have any national presence. Kerala, CPM, it's a different phenomenon,
Yeah.
but strong in their own states.
Okay.
And this Punjab, you can see.
Yeah.
And it may happen in other states also. And you may see Maharashtra, the rise of
Maharashtra.
Maratha nationalism is
Right.
there.
Right.
You know. So I think redrawing of the colonial boundaries is an inevitable historical process.
Wow.
That's what I believe in.
Okay.
I don't look forward to the breakup of India as such,
As such.
but
Okay.
the historical process
It's going to happen.
is going to happen. It is only a matter of time. That's
But
what I believe.
But the concern for you as an individual is whether you will get to see it or not. You know, that
It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Always we believe that it will not happen in our generation.
Okay.
Our struggle is going to take long. We knew it. And we tell our cadres also, your sacrifice is for the future, not for the present generation, you and me.
But when the dream that you are thinking about, your aspirations lies solely in the future, what is one thing that motivates you to continue the cause? Because as human beings, we want immediate gain and benefits. I want it tomorrow. I want it the next day, next week, next month.
Yeah.
But as human beings, you just live one life. And how do you reconcile yourself with the idea that you have benefits in the future?
Because, the kind of situation the people of Manipur, or for that matter, the entire Western Southeast Asia, is that we, small people,
Okay.
are being swamped by outsiders, illegal immigrants. We are becoming minorities in our own land, particularly the indigenous people in this region. So we have to look to such a future where our children, grandchildren, and their grandchildren are secured from this silent invasion. This is the most dangerous threat to our existence. It is an existential threat and survival, not just about sovereignty independence. Sovereignty independence is a very vague term to the people, common people.
Okay.
But now the reality is that we are being swamped by outsiders, whether from Bangladesh, Nepal, or mainland India, and this from Myanmar.
Now, coming back to your organization, UNLF, which seems to have been divided with two factions in 2020.
Right.
And one is led by Koireng and one is led by Bombay.
Right.
And Bombay group seems to be more willing to talk with the government of India. And the Koireng group. So as a lead, once a former chairman of the UNLF, where do you think is the group heading to? Because the actual stance of the UNLF, as I learned, is through the intervention of the United Nations, through the United intervention, through plebiscite means, none other than that. So I think that seems to be very, very rigid and strong in your stance. Now, how do you look at it when groups are divided, like the Naga groups, as we have observed?
Actually, it happens in any organization when the ideological and political conviction a little bit become weakened. So, but as for me, those who want to experiment or with having a talk with the government of India, it's okay, go ahead.
Okay.
But as history proves, so far, nobody has regained sovereignty independence through a negotiation process. The talks between the government of India and Sana Yaima is an example. 26 years on,
Right.
it has not led to any conclusion, isn't it? But then but I must say that definitely the talks process weakens the struggle.
Mm.
So I strongly feel that the government in India has always used the talks process as a tool to divide the revolutionary struggles and finish one by one. It has happened.
It has happened. It's
Yeah.
happening right there.
It is happening.
Right.
And it will happen
Okay.
in the future.
Okay.
So, but as far as the talks is concerned, I say those who believe in talks, go ahead, try your luck, how far you can go. If it brings any good thing to the people of Manipur or Nagaland, whatever, good. But never expect sovereignty and independence from the talks process. That's my message,
So you still stand on sovereignty.
right? Because that is the thing we have come to believe still. Yeah.
Now, one thing I would like to understand better from revolutionary group leaders is, are they vocal enough to to motivate the people? What people, from my observation, want this time is totally democratic society. But this is the same question that I asked with the Nakal revolutionary leader, like V.S. Attempt, when we had this conversation. Do you think when solution is achieved with the government of India, are you going to install a democratic form of a government, or is it going to be a socialist state where democracy would be hardly visible?
Well,
What is your vision?
we believe in democracy and socialism.
Okay.
I must tell you that democracy can survive only in socialism.
Yep.
And socialism can grow only in a democracy.
Okay.
But now in India, what we see as democracy is not genuine democracy. It's a liberal democracy.
Liberal democracy.
And liberalism and democracy cannot go along. From liberalism, the tendency of fascist, politics develops.
I see.
When it happens, democracy suffers. Now you have been seeing this phenomenon. Democracy in India is being subverted. It's becoming more and more undemocratic. For example, you see, you talk about independence of judiciary.
Yeah.
And separation of powers, legislature, executive. But the phenomenon which we see today is the executive is controlling everything. The legislature is not being allowed to function as such, and the judiciary also is happening.
Judiciary could be theoretically independent. That
But-
also depends on who is sitting in the judiciary.
Yes,
Right?
right, it depends.
Right.
So, for democracy to flourish, you need a new generation of people, a transformed people. But now, in many countries in the world, democracy is weakening. Why? Because the quality of those, people in the democratic process doing politics has become very low.
Okay.
So, as I said, democracy is a form of system which demands a completely transformed human being. Who has less self-interest and more of public interest. But now you see everybody is running after money and becomes, as such, they become so opportunist. Everybody wants to grab any opportunity to benefit themselves.
Relating to that question as well, how you are motivating people and how you are appealing to the conscience of the people for your cause. I think it's also very important to look back what is it one thing that you would like to, for example, if your aspirations is fulfilled, it's achieved, how do you see the sovereign state of Manipur being better than to be part of India and still functional and operational within the ambit of the Indian Constitution? What is one thing that is, you are envisioning to be the better version of Manipur to be sovereign?
Well, it will be a completely different country. A sovereign and independent Manipur.
Will the people of Manipur enjoy that better?
Definitely, definitely.
How so?
The power will rest with the people.
Okay.
And that this thing, sovereign independent Manipur, will have a system that enjoys autonomy at all levels, down to the village councils. And power will be decentralized. And decentralization is a primary condition of democracy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So from the village up to the state level, and from the state level down to the village level, it will be a two-way process. And of course, Manipur being a multi-ethnic state, all ethnic communities will have a representation in the decision-making body of this state. And that's is not happening today under India.
Okay.
And within the Indian Union, you see, we are so divided, compartmentalized by the schedules like, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, religious minorities and whatnot. Of course, it is done with the best of intentions to safeguard the interests of these section of peoples concerned, but the ultimate result is compartmentalization of society. So, scheduled caste, they will protect, they will want to protect their right. Scheduled tribe also, OBC also. And they do not have the opportunity, or they do not have, or they are not given the opportunity to think about the entire people of the state. I will think for scheduled caste. They will think for scheduled tribe. Another will think for OBC and religious minorities. So antagonistic contradictions are created because of these compartmentalizations.
I see.
But what we need is a wholesome unity where differences can flourish,
Okay.
not compartmentalization.
Okay. Okay. But if you envision the state of Manipur, a sovereign state of Manipur, you say multi-ethnic sovereign state of Manipur.
Right.
That in your vision, that includes the Kukis, the Nagas, the Pangans, the Meiteis.
Everybody who believes in the idea of interdependent coexistence,
Okay.
not just one. Interdependent coexistence is the soul of the pure state of Manipur.
Okay. Okay. So
That is even within India itself.
okay. Okay. So it's not just confined to the Maharaja kingdom of such days, the Imphal Valley.
No.
Okay. Then in that case, you have had encounters with the NSNIM leaders even
Right.
those days before
Right,
when you
right.
were in the jungle.
Right.
I think you seem to have worked together in one way or the other.
Right. Very
So
much.
how did you reconcile your aspirations and their aspiration? Their aspiration is now
Right,
the integration of the Nagas, which will take portion away from you.
Very nice question.
Right.
Yes, very much. The Nagas, they are aspiring for an independent Nagaland. That was the original idea of the Naga movement.
Right.
And after that, so many factions come to existence. And NSNIM is negotiating with India, has been negotiating with India for a shared sovereignty. Well, and that experiment is yet to produce its result.
True.
Separate flag and separate constitution has bogged down the process. So the peace talks is almost as good as over.
Yeah.
So, here I mentioned that negotiation, the process of negotiation ends there. In essence, is no flag, no constitution, no agreement, isn't it? So then, the idea of a sovereign state, Nagaland, and sovereign state Manipur, there are overlapping areas, Naga inhabited areas.
Right.
That is something which can be resolved between us
Mm-hmm.
without any third party interference
Okay.
or intervention. That should be within the family. We are a big family after all. We can exist in a big family. Nagas will be in their own territory, others will also be in their own territory. So the idea of interdependent coexistence will work in a sovereign country. I am sure that the Naga leaders and Naga people will look forward to forming a sovereign country within which all of us can exist together as different entities.
Okay, I think it all comes down to how you.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's not a question of choice. It's not an option also that we survive together and we exist together. Then we must exist under one nomenclature. And within that nomenclature, Nagas will be Nagas, Manipur, Métis, whatever, in Manipur, there will be Métis and others.
I think that's very clear. And
Yeah.
also, you have been the target of the NIA for so long,
Yes.
and you have been nabbed, you have been imprisoned as well
Right.
under the UABA.
Right.
And I think when I learned about you, I just learned that you were caught in Bihar.
Yeah. No, that was a drama actually.
Okay.
This thing, they picked me up from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, I
Dhaka,
see.
right.
Okay.
And I was taken to Bihar after that. I was kept under detention in Dhaka for 60 days.
60 days.
Yeah, 60 days.
Was it with the help of the Bangladesh government?
Yes, very much.
So that means
That,
India and Bangladesh, was
that
it?
Hasina government,
Hasina was the-
yes,
yeah, okay.
Prime Minister was directly involved in that.
By the way, what were you doing in Bangladesh?
Well, Bangladesh, often I go there, and I have friends there, other things, and from there I go to other countries to meet my friends, others also. And
Okay, now,
Yeah.
but given the new government that is formed in Bangladesh,
yeah,
do you think now it's a more friendly country for you as a revolutionary? Because Hasina government was very close with India.
Right.
That's where
Right.
your nap happened. So how
right.
do you
Not
assess
just me,
Yeah.
the Alpha leaders
Alpha leaders?
and Tripura leaders
Okay.
and Boro leaders, they all this thing well. We knew it would happen.
Okay.
We knew it.
How do you assess the new government now?
Well, as far as this thing, I have not had any direct contact with the new government. As far as I see from the newspaper reports and TV reports, it seems that changing policies of the Hasina government.
Right. That's
And this new dispensation, I think they are the one who look our struggles as a freedom struggle.
okay.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Colonial boundaries are going to change in the future.
I think this video will exist even in the future, maybe even 30, 40 years down the line. People in the future might want to look back and see whether your aspirations, your dream, or your assessment really happens in the future. So now keeping that aside, you were nabbed and you were taken to,
Yes, that one.
in Bihar, and
Yeah.
it was staged as you were arrested in Bihar.
Right.
How did that happen? Can you explain the process of like what happened and how you really went through?
Yeah, interesting to remember.
Yeah.
Well, after picking me up, they kept me in a very isolated place, at a house where nobody stays except me and those who are guarding me,
I see.
the Bangladesh security agencies. After 60 days, in between, people in Manipur, media started shouting, I have disappeared from Bangladesh and all. They even went to human rights, Amnesty International and all, human rights defenders worked on that line. I knew it later on, but it must be that factor that I was one day taken suddenly to the West Bengal border at night, about 2 o'clock in the morning. And they handed me to a security agency, maybe IBN Row, I think, in Bengal. Then after that, I was taken to Bihar, from where they officially arrested me and brought to Guwahati, and this thing, court. That was this thing. And it was just like a, film like. When I was taken to Motihari, district, Chetaoni town, I was made to walk a little bit, giving the idea that I was walking. I was present there, and then I picked me up.
Okay.
That was actually the handing over of from the security agency to the NIA.
I see. And you knew that's going to happen.
Yeah, I knew it.
And
I
you
knew it.
worked knowing that they're going to arrest you.
I knew the day I was picked up, I knew they were going to hand me over to the government of India. I knew it. I told them that.
Did you go through any torture?
No.
Okay.
In Bangladesh, they respected me very much. The security officer also did. Very sorry we had to do this. From the top level,
Okay.
the order came.
Okay.
So they were helpless.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at last, like, on what condition you were released by the NIA? What was the condition?
Well, actually, we were charge sheeted. This thing 120B, criminal conspiracy, 121, 122, arms act and terrorist activities and all. And the trial took about 5 years in the Guwahati National NIA Special Court. And but for the first time, the court admitted that the UNLF is an organization fighting to restore Manipur's sovereignty independence, but by terrorist means.
Terrorist means?
Yeah, by terrorist means.
Okay.
But the first time, a court of India took notice of the struggle UNLF was engaged. And they say, but by terrorist means.
Okay.
But then in the process of the trial, when the chief investigation officer, he was a superintendent of police from the JNK Kadar, he was asked by the judge how the accused persons become terrorists. And he told the court that, sir, there are no evidence of the accused persons involving in terrorist activities.
Okay.
They could not produce any evidence that we are engaged in terrorist activities. And of course, have never engaged in terrorist activities like bombing in public places and political assassinations, or like even Indian army personnel in civilians.
I see.
They were never made a target. And the UNLF never carried out any armed activities beyond the boundaries of Manipur. We were actually conducting our struggle within, international law and Geneva Convention, Common Charter, Common testing. So the chief investigation officer said the accused persons have not, they were not found engaging in any terrorist activities.
I see.
Then the charge sheet that we were trying to restore our independence through terrorist means, and the terrorist means could not be proved. So in a way, we were sentenced 10 years, 7 years.
I see.
I was sentenced 10 years. The law sentenced us, but we won this case. They convicted us, but we won the case. Our case, I mean.
Oh.
I and two of my colleagues never applied for bail and never appealed against the judgment.
Now that you have won the case and you have been released, and are you still part of the organization?
Well, I am not.
Okay.
As I am right now here, and while in the jail, I have this thing given my consent to go ahead and proceed the election of a new leader.
New leader.
So in 2014, Pambay was elected chairman.
I see.
He was the vice chairman, and he was acting chairman during my arrest all the time. Then he was elected as a regular chairman, and after that, 2018, near about that time, this thing of breakaway, this thing faction led by Pambay came into being.
More dominant.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Pambay group is now in the talks process.
Right.
Quering is the chairman of this thing, original line, in the original line. They are still continuing the struggle.
It's just my wild observation that if you, not necessarily you, but if anyone is really fighting for a sovereign state, sovereignty cannot be negotiated, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
It cannot be given,
Right.
because the Constitution of India wouldn't allow any government to give sovereignty to anyone.
Right.
So if it has to be fought for it has to be snatched, or you have to wait for the natural process of disintegration of the country.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not that I'm voting for it, but logically that's what I'm trying to reason.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I said. It's a long process of struggle.
Right.
And in the process of struggle, situation will change. It is changing. Now, for the time being, the struggle has weakened a little bit. But then, the happenings now, the cookie phenomenon, and
Yeah.
happenings around,
Right.
in a way, is giving a boost to the struggle.
Okay.
So many young people voluntarily coming out to fight against the cookies. When they come to know the real situation, I believe they will join this other bigger struggle for regaining sovereignty.
So, I mean, maybe the final ending question: how do you look forward to the future as a person? Now, how will be your contribution to the belief and cause that you have been fighting for years and decades?
Yes. In cricket, you may say I'm in my last over of my life, isn't it? I am now almost 80. But I'll always look forward to giving a direction to our people, the sense of direction of our history. Which way we should look forward so that the people of Manipur can survive and exist as distinct human beings. That will be my effort to contribute
Okay.
to our future generations.
Okay. So, sir, it's been pleasant. I mean, it's a pleasure having a conversation with you and learning a lot on what you believe, and what you look forward to, and what you have been doing. I think we hardly have a chance to get to know why certain individual is fighting for a cause. So thanks for explaining this to us in very detail, and I appreciate that you give us time. And I'm sure many people will get to know what you're thinking and what has been your vision for your people. Thank you so much for this time, sir.
Thank you very much, the
Yeah.
Lungleng Show.
Yeah.
You have given me the opportunity to express my thoughts and beliefs. And I am sure if through your distinct talk show, if it can reach to the people in this region, I think I'll be very, very grateful to you. I'm grateful to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
You have stay healthy and live a long life, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you.